good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to the Biz Talk. This is MJ, of course, and my beautiful co-host for tonight is no other than Tita Tess Twazon. Good evening, Tita Tess. All right, looks like I again welcome to the Biz Talk. Okay, and of course, our show is brought to you by the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Houston Region, and Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy. And we are live on Facebook and YouTube. All right. And if you miss our live show tonight, you can actually listen to um, Apple Podcast, Listen Notes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and Overcast. And of course, for our viewers, we encourage you to please participate. You can give us any comment or any questions, and we will do our best to answer them with our guests for tonight. So, again, our show is actually, it's early on. We have some comments already. Thank you so much, Margarita Trong. She said, "Good evening." All right, and we have a couple of guests for tonight. But let me hear first from Tita Tess Twazon. Okay. All right. Well, we can go ahead and get our guests for tonight now. Can we have Suli?
Here, Suli. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. We
Oh,
can hear
great.
you clear. Oh my God, loud and clear. And
Loud and
welcome to
clear.
the show, Sue. I'm
Thank
so excited
you.
to see you. Isn't it that we just saw each other at the last speaker series? Were you were there, right?
Yeah, I was. No, I wasn't.
Oh,
Last
okay.
series, no, not me.
Okay.
That's my first time.
Okay, well, thank you for, accepting our invitation to be our guest tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. So glad to see you on the air.
Yes, and our show, we have it every second and fourth Thursday of the month, and it is our way of giving back to the community, and of course it's a benefit of our members because through our and community partners, through our platform we can give them or offer them the opportunity to talk about their business and learn more about them. So tonight we want to learn and know more about Sue Lee. Who is Sue Lee? Come on, introduce yourself soon. Just tell us anything
Mm,
about yourself,
yeah.
like, how you came to the United States, if about talk about your family, your background, your profession, and anything. Just come on, you can just talk to us about it and let our viewers.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to share my background with everybody here. First, just want to say thank you to MJ and Tess
Oh,
who
yeah.
host the show tonight, and
We're glad
Irene
to have
who
you.
hosts. Yes, my background is that I came from Taiwan. About 30 some years ago. I don't want you to calculate my age, so I'm going to turn down a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
So anyhow, I came to the United States long time ago. I worked for the federal for 21 years. I took an early retirement. I thought I would like it, and I just took a 1 year off and drove me crazy. So, and I get back to work, and fourth thing I find is that because of influence of my sister-in-law, she's the top agent at Hong Kong. So she always tell me that you can do it, you can do it, you will be good at this field and this and that. So I just took her encouragement and contacted the insurance company, and they hire me. And then I don't even have a license at that time, but they hire me. So, and then I took a license. I used 2 weeks to study, and then I got my license, and then I start working for, who AIG.
Oh, that's good. So that's great. And so you're from Taiwan. Didn't you know
Yes,
that? I actually was in Taiwan for a year back in, I
really.
think that was 1996 to 1997. I
Hmm.
lived there. I worked as a factory worker in Hsinchu.
Oh, Hsinchu, yes,
Hsinchu, yeah, yeah.
1 hour from my hometown.
Ah, okay, well that's good. I missed the rice, the sticky rice.
I
Yeah.
cook for you.
Anyways,
Uh,
so with your, so what you worked for the federal government as what? Let's talk about your experience in the government first.
Okay, I
Then we,
actually work
yeah.
for postal service. I
Mhm.
work for postal service as an entry level clerk, and then I went into the training department, education training department. I worked there for maybe 10 years, and then I detail on the HR. So I went to the HR. So I move around. That old saying say, you move around, you won't get shoes. So that's what I did. So I move around in the postal service. My last job at the postal service, I was office in charge.
Mhm.
So I was working with the front window,
Mhm.
right? So I
Yes.
need to open the window, I need to close the window, and I was in charge of inventory over there as well. I in charge of the stamp over there.
Mhm.
So, and that's about 200,000 some dollars stamp that I took care of that. So, so that was my last job before I take the retirement.
So, Sue, where did you start when you arrived here in the US? Where were you?
When
Here
I
in Houston?
started. Well, no, when I started, I actually in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, my
Then,
Lord.
yeah, then
That's
I,
my
I
husband's hometown.
yeah. So then I followed my husband because his job was to move to the Florida. So I went to the Florida.
You've been
7 years,
around.
yeah, 7 years in Cincinnati, 10 years in Florida, and then what? I think it's less than 10 years. And then go to the move to the Connecticut.
We're in Connecticut,
Hartford, West
Hartford.
Hartford. Yes.
I lived in Norwalk, so it's
Oh no, wow. Okay, that's a good
so
place
both
too.
of us have been around.
Yes.
So
That's so
have a
funny because
well-rounded personality.
and it's so funny because like we have commonalities. Like since Connecticut and me, I lived in Taiwan for a year. Isn't that
Mhm.
Yeah.
cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I mean, we adopted life everywhere we go, right? And
uh-huh.
so that's how I feel. So it's like I'm a military family, move around. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Sue, what were the difficulties back then when you first arrived compared to now?
Oh, first year when you came to, I mean, we from Taiwan, our background that we don't speak that much English.
Mhm.
Okay, not like a Philippine. Okay, so when I first came, I was telling my coworker, and then I was sharing my experience with the people, with a new immigrant. I said, when I first came to the United States, I have a hard time to order the McDonald's. So I said, even though I feel very good about English, I was always excel on the English, conversation so, and I was saying that I feel like I should not have a problem, but I did because the conversation, because we in Taiwan we don't speak English. So
Mhm.
when we came here, we have to try very hard to develop that skill.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Mm.
But with your personality, you can overcome all those challenges. I already know because
You're
you are
Thank
so
you,
strong
Jessie.
person.
versatile.
You're so kind. You're so kind. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a strong person. Plus, imagine like just your tenure in the government or federal as in the post office, like you actually moved and learned new skills all along, right? So that
Yes.
only shows how, how strong person and great skills that you have, because you were willing to learn new stuff. And you're
Mm-hmm.
right, English is, maybe the Philippines is a little bit of advantage because we learn English like
Mm-hmm.
the moment we would go to school, but we
Correct.
actually didn't speak it every day either. But
Mm-hmm.
our books were all English and all that. So we, and call centers, there's a lot of call centers in the Philippines
Yeah,
nowadays.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
But you are, I mean, you are very good in conversing in English, and it's
Thank you. Thank you.
still
That's a
pretty
sweet of you.
impressive. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And when Sue, I could feel it when Sue communicates. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's from the heart, so you could feel
Mm-hmm. That's my
how
personality, I
she can
think.
connect with people. She has
Thank you. Thank
developed it
you.
all
Mm-hmm.
this time. So we love you, Sue.
Yes.
Thank you, Pastor.
And how
That's
does
so
it
sweet of
feel
you.
to be retired?
Bowling.
Oh,
Yeah, true. This is a true statement. I was sharing my experience with Rolly the other day. I said, I told me, I said, I supposedly I should feel very good, but I only feel very nice on the first maybe 2 months, and then I'm like, I don't even know tomorrow. Today is Wednesday or Thursday, or just don't know. And then I feel like, oh wow, the retirement is so boring. So even though we in the Houston weather is so nice, right? So I would love to go out and this and that. And then when I go out, I'm like, okay, I better walk in, otherwise I'll drive me crazy. I slept very late, and then I have to, because I get up late, so I have to sleep. I have to go to the bed very late because that's my 8 hour. I shorter than 8 hour. I should enough.
uh-huh.
So and then just I don't like watching too much TV. Tell you true. So and then I read book.
Uh-huh.
Then
Well, that's good.
yeah, I read book, and I love it. I don't like very watch it too much TV, but I love to watch a movie. So
Mm-hmm.
2 hours, that's my maximum.
How
Mm-hmm.
about playing mahjong?
I love mahjong too.
You
Yeah.
have to come over to my house.
Yeah,
Guys,
I used
yes.
to play mahjong. Now I used to play mahjong. I have a group of people play mahjong with me. But
I
then
know that.
Okay,
after I
Sue.
move, yeah, then I move around, so I lose the people that play with me. You know how the old group of people you play, you really enjoy it, and then you want to change the people, you feel different, right? So you miss your old friend. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
You
now
have
you have a new member of the team, Tita Tess.
you have to cultivate new mahjong buddies. So
okay,
we
you
will
I'm
welcome you.
in. You can play in my office.
We will play then.
Okay, very nice.
So
Yeah.
when did you start your business? So you're retired and all that, and so out of boredom, you just wanted to learn and create this or put up this business. And how did you start it all?
Okay, on the 2010, I moved to the Texas. I believe it's January 8th. So and then I enjoy Houston very much. So even though my sister-in-law can tell me that, he said, "Oh, you sound so exciting. You really like it, Texas, huh?" I say yes. So she fly all the way from Hong Kong just to share my excitement. So, but anyhow, so I like that on 2010. So like I said, after a year, I feel bored. And so I was looking around, then I go to the school for the information specialist.
Mm-hmm.
That means that I try to work at the hospital to get those data, input those, right? And then my son know that because my son is a nurse. So my son say, "Oh ma, I would not want to take that job. That's da 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 da." So anyhow, I didn't go into that. So and then one time the guy was call me for the job. He's American General Life Insurance's manager. So he called me and then he say, and we really need a people and this and that. So I just tell them that, well, I don't like to go to the office every day. He said, oh, no problem. So, and then and whatever that I mentioned that I don't like it, he said, no problem. So my husband said, isn't you hire him or he hire you? So anyhow, I so he won me, so I win, and then I took a test. And he offered that if I can take a test and then work with them, they pay for my license fee. So I said okay, and then I took a test. He hired me. That's how I started. That was 2012.
Wow,
So
that's good.
can you explain to us how you help uh,
Senior.
what you do now and how you are able to help the community?
Okay, sure. Yeah, the best job that I have, actually, that I really enjoy is my Medicare. Okay, I'm selling a lot of Medicare. I have a lot of clients. That's because I'm beginning. I only can be independent agent. So I was to be independent agent probably just 5 more years. Then one of my girlfriends said, "Why don't you become a broker?" So I didn't think about that. But after she said, think about it, do some research. And then okay, I said, okay. So I asked my boss, can I be a broker? And then so she gave me this. She said, "Oh, you need to have how many agents and this and that." I said, "Oh, I need to recruit." So she said, "Yeah, you do." So I said, "Okay." I took it as a task. So then every time you challenge yourself when you to the certain comfort level, you say, okay, maybe I can do something a little bit more challenging. So that's what I did for myself. I go to
Wow,
the next level. Yes.
that's great. Another commonality between us, because I'm also licensed. I'm life licensed.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
I am. Yeah, so I'm a nurse by profession, but I'm so life licensed. So I
Life license? Do you have a house license?
no, no, not properties, just life
No,
and
life and health.
yeah,
Health.
life and health.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
that's good. We can use the license. Make it work.
Yeah, I know. But too busy. So how do you enjoy doing this compared to all the other jobs that you have done in your life? Which one actually gave you, the most probably fulfillment?
I would say if you work for yourself, that's a fulfillment. If
Mhm.
you work for someone else, you lessen their, leading you. So I like to lead in myself. So I work for myself. That's most. I think I should. I always look back. I would say, "Oh, if I know it, I should retire 10 years earlier." That's what I always tell to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this part, because I promised. Remember, I promised myself I only work something that I like it.
Mhm.
So this part of the job is that something that I really enjoy. I was sharing my experience with Mr. Rolly the other day. I said when I closed the first Medicare case, I
Mhm.
was happy for 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, I don't know exactly how long, but I was very excited. So
Yeah.
I look back, I say, well, life and Medicare, why do a Medicare give me so much joy? Why is life? I'm just okay, I did I get more money, but Medicare I get less money. But is that when you contact one person who is so helpless, so
Mhm.
confused about Medicare, and you able to help them, and they
Mhm.
will smile. They come in very sad, but they smile, walk out to your office. That really made you feel like you really help someone. Okay, beside the money, you really help someone. That feeling stay with me for a little bit longer than the life insurance that I close. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. So
Oh,
that,
that's good.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's like you're serving others. I think that's the key. Because when you serve, when you do something out of, not just because of the monetary benefits, but
Mhm,
because you're serving others and helping them, that
mhm.
gives a much deeper happiness or joy, as we say, because joy is more, you know,
Correct,
And a
fulfilling.
correct.
lot of people too, do not have all the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
to apply for Medicare, Medicaid, all that medic thing. For every person, it's quite a challenge
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
because
Correct.
some people you ask have a different version or they just tell you what you need to know. But
Correct.
if I were to apply for it, I would like somebody I'm comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
who I know is gonna help me through, just
Mm-hmm.
like you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
give you
Yeah.
a call too
Okay,
one day
definitely.
soon.
Yes, yes, because not just like I spend, even though I build up my own company, and then I realized that I don't want to lose the quality of my service
Yes.
because when I get busy, I must be rough. I mean, rush a little bit. So I look back, I would say, well, did I really service that person right? So and while I was thinking of that, Margarita showed up in my face every day. She's looking for that. Oh, do you need help? And this and that. I'm like, Margarita, do you really need help? I don't know how much Margarita know the Medicare. So, and then she said, yeah. She said, I can. So I gave her first assignment, making the phone call and this and then I just listened to her talk. And I'm like, oh, she doesn't know the Medicare, right? So I said, Margarita, did you work this field before? She said, yes. So I'm like, oh, that's good. So I don't have to go through the too much training on her. So
Mm-hmm.
she already knew the rules. So, and then her personality is very much like mine. Okay. Only she probably a little bit kinder, more helpful than me.
Plus, she's also from Taiwan originally.
Yeah,
Her
yes, yes.
parents are
So,
from Taiwan, so
correct, correct.
yep.
So, yeah,
Yeah, because part of your business is really
correct.
educating people, right? So
Yes,
it's a good thing because some people that do whatever you're doing, some of them, not all, but some of them maybe just doing it for the money. But
correct.
having someone like you who sincerely and genuinely wants to help people it's a different thing. Because of course the population where you sell those insurance, Medicare, I mean, they need a lot of help, right? So,
Correct, correct.
and sometimes they have those plans that they don't even understand. So we're
It's
like,
it,
yeah,
it, it's too many information there.
yes,
So you need to sort through for your client, okay? And you
yeah,
need to know what is your client need, okay? Like
yes,
if my client is very sick people and very, has a lot of disease, I need to give them a better plan, okay? Not save money, not even think about that because you save a little bit, you may lose a little bit bigger part in the other side. So
huh?
I would, how you say that? I will assess the situation, their
Mm-hmm.
health is condition. If they're willing to share with me honestly, usually I'll be able to find a good plan for them.
Yes, yes. And by the way, I have a comment from Margarita Truong. She says, "You're an excellent leader."
Oh, she's so kind. Thank you, Margarita.
Yeah. So, and yeah, it's so nice to have someone really who's, as I said, who gives like whatever is appropriate for your clients.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know healthcare costs are like skyrocketing. Believe it or not, I work in the hospital, so I know a little bit. I have a
Hmm.
little bit of idea how much it would cost for patients to be hospitalized. So
Correct.
if they have a good plan, and if you're offering them the good plan, then that's great. Because
Hmm. The problem is that a lot of people they think that they have a Medicare A and B is good enough, but actually it's not. You need to because you need to Medicare is like you need to put it in the your financial how to say that you need to be a very good plan because it's a part of your financial planning. If if you don't control well, that a big chunk of money could lose. That's your wealth, it's gone. So you really need to be careful with not just Medicare or Part A and Part B. If you only have an original Medicare, you yourself will have to pay 20% all the time. Okay. For instance, if you go to see your PCP, they probably charge you $200, but because you don't have a private insurance come with it, so you now have to pay $40. But
Mhm.
people with the private insurance, they pay zero.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's a little bit money here, a little bit money there, and they shrink your 20% to
Mhm.
as little as possible. That's what I recommend. Everybody should do the Medicare Advantage plan, or you need to do the Medicare. Whatever you choose, you got to choose some.
Yes, that's right. Do you have any questions, Tita Tess?
No, my question is, when can I see her and discuss?
So now you have like a future client. Yeah, and you're absolutely
Thank
right.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're
Call
right.
us, make an appointment. Okay.
Yeah, so
And yeah,
that's very true because some people they try to save upfront, but they're gonna pay more in the back
at
end.
the end. Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
trying to help them understand and make sure that they make wise decision and you
Yeah, and
offer
also I also like to emphasize that my in my insurance company I have three led right now. Beside me, I'm the agent. I'm also the agency, and we also have another agent in house. Her name is Sandy Chen, and then we also have the service department. Her name is Margarita Trump. Okay. She,
that's great.
yeah, so
Uh-huh.
it's
And for
not
our
many
audience, Margarita Trong is our vice chairman from
yeah.
the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Houston.
Yes, I know that and but she is helping a lot of my clients. They all give her 100%. So they give me 98 because I don't service them. Margarita service them. So they give Margarita 100, give me the 98. Okay.
Well, I think before we go on a break, there's a question. Margarita Trong is asking, is there a penalty for late enrollment?
Did you want to answer after break or right now?
Go ahead and answer it because on after the break, we're gonna get the next guest and then we're gonna get
Okay,
you back
sure.
towards the
Yes, it's there are penalty for late enrollment. Yes. For the late enrollment, Part B and Part D, even though Part A will have a late enrollment, but because everybody work for 10 years, Part A usually come with the free money. But Part B usually because you have to pay $164.90 right now per month. So
Mhm,
people try to get away not to enroll. That's wrong. Okay.
mhm.
Because you delay 1 year, that's a 10% of a penalty for Part B premium.
Oh wow.
12%, yes. 12% for the Part D drop. Okay.
Oh.
And
So
that's what people don't want to pay, the penalty, but they
yeah.
incur more in the end.
Yeah, and then once you get you be penalized that you have to pay for this penalty for whole life, not just
Wow.
1 year or 2 year. I wish it just that simple, but it's for whole life. So don't play with the fire.
And
Oh
and
my
if you live a very long life, that's a lot of
That's a lot of
penalties.
money.
God.
Yes,
That's really
yes.
great to know, Sue, and it's been really good to have you and great information that you have shared so far. But we're gonna have a break and then we'll get you back at towards the end of the show. Okay, just hang out
Sure.
at the
Thank
background.
you.
Okay.
We
Thank
will be
you.
back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello to everyone from Roof Chamber Radio. I'm encouraging all of you to stay here, stay in this chamber. If you want to be inspired, you want to be encouraged, this is where it's at. And we're all going to need this, especially, in this new year that we're in. We don't know what's up for tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week or next month. But I believe that when you gather with people who believe in the power, the faithfulness, and the goodness of the Lord Jesus Christ, there is power in that in itself. So stay here. Stay in the roof chamber radio. Be inspired, be encouraged. And let's all go through life, not on our own, and more than just with each other, but let's speak the faith, let's share the faith, let's live by faith, and let's walk by faith. God bless you all, everyone from Roof Chamber Radio.
All right.
We
Welcome
we're
back,
back.
guys. I know we're back. Do
Hey, I
you want to
just
introduce
noticed
our next
today's
guest?
colors.
Oh,
We are both pretty in pink.
yeah. We didn't talk, but anyways, you want to introduce our next guest, Paul?
Yep, we want to uh, bring our next guest, Mr. Rolando Rolly De Meza, who is a certified Texas State teacher aspirant.
No,
The
not yet. No.
Professor Rolly, welcome to our show. Welcome to the Biz Talk.
How are
Well, thank
you?
well, thank you for having me. Before anything else, I am not yet a certified Texas teacher. Just to
To be
give you a
certified,
correction on
though.
that. Thank you. So
Future
for,
certified, yes. We're claiming it. Yeah, you have to claim it.
you're right, absolutely. Amen to
Yeah,
that.
yes.
Well, how will I start? Of course, I would like to thank each and every one of you, MJ, Miss Tess, and of course, Jade, Miss Jade, who has been coordinating this for having me in this Biz Talk as being a member of PACC.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I missed the very first one, and Attorney Ligot Dison sort of reprimanded me, and she told me one time when we had that PACC meeting at Marriott Courtyard, where were you on that Biz Talk?
Mm-hmm.
That was because I was attending a public forum when I
Oh.
filed my candidacy for the Board of Trustees for Fort Bend ISD. I
Great.
was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the second public forum conducted at the time frame, and it ended something like 7 o'clock, and there were still other one-on-one interface with the public people as well as the candidates. There were a couple of us. Out of the nine, there were five of us who were there, so I never had a chance. And so,
Oh, it's
again,
okay.
Yeah,
I
We're
do
glad to have
apologize
you.
for that.
Yeah, we're glad to have you tonight. And how
yes.
did your candidacy go?
Good question. Very good question. I lost, as expected. There were five candidates of us. There were five candidates eyeing for one position that was in
Wow.
position five. And mind you, I didn't really expect to be there. If I ended up the fourth or the third, hey, I'll be more than miraculously happy already. But I ended up last. But I looked at it positively. Well,
Mm-hmm.
You can
uh,
try again.
Yeah, plus the
the
experience. You
oh
learn.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
there you go. You said it,
Mm-hmm.
MJ. It's the experience and the exposure that I was after.
Mm-hmm.
The winner, who is not the incumbent, by the way, it wasn't the incumbent. A friend of mine from another community organization said, when you are competing with an incumbent, you expect that she will go, but she did not win.
Oh.
And the one who won was Miss Sonia Jones. If I'm not mistaken, she has 4 or 14 years with middle school as a teacher, working on her masteral or about to finish her masteral degree, and she's about to go to doctorate degree. And
Mm-hmm.
competing with them is really difficult. She was the one. She got, I'll be honest, she got almost 6,000 votes. My wife was even the one monitoring that on May 6th at about between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the evening. Uh, she got 6,000 votes. The second runner up, who was the incumbent, I mean, first runner up, who had 4,000 votes, and then the other one was two, the other one was 1,000. And guess what? I had 753. So
Well,
my my wife was even joking aside, and she was saying, "Hey, if the official count would end up 1,000 for you, I'll be very happy."
Oh, yes.
And what I told my wife was, "Look," I said, "I got 753 votes. I had a couple of friends from PACC, from China Exchange Club, close friends of mine, former co-office mates. They're not even counting 53 people all in all,
Mm-hmm.
which means that I looked at it, it was a negative turnout, but I didn't expect really to get the top position or even to be elected. Again, it's just for the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out that there's 700 people who doesn't know me in person. They just saw my name on the Impact newsletter, on the campaign poster, on the vehicles, on the schools itself, who said, "Hey, who's this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Let me put my trust and confidence in him." So I looked at it the positive way. So that's why I wasn't able to attend that first Biz Talk that I was
now we
invited to.
know.
Yeah, you're excused. You're excused for, so don't worry about it. Okay, that's
Now
Well, thank
there's
you.
the name recognition is also important.
yes.
It's a factor in winning a candidacy, a position. So next time when
They
you
know
try
you.
again, they'll surely tell other people, Rolly is a good guy. Let's go for him.
Yep.
Well, like I told in my when they asked me a question, I said, "So how's it going on?" Well, I'm the only rose among the thorns, because there were four ladies. Yes, there were four ladies, all
So you were
experienced.
dominated by women power.
Yes, exactly.
That's
But
okay, po. You're like you're that shows how much brave you are, how courageous you are, because you didn't mind being just the one man among the women. So yeah.
well, actually, I filed my candidacy again. It was all by accident, just like PACC. When I joined PACC the very first time, it was also by accident. And I'm gonna go back to that thing. On this candidacy, it was the last day. I just said it. I just read it on the paper, and so I called the Fort Bend Lexington office, ISD, and I said, "What are your minimum requirements?" So they told me you must be 18 years old and a resident of this area. So I went there, took the form, filled it up, and the executive assistant of the superintendent. Well, you have to be aware that this superintendent reports to the seven board of trustees who are just providing free service. That's the challenge that was there. So her executive assistant said, "I just want to remind you, Mr. De Mesa, that this is purely voluntary. There is no compensation." I said, "I am fully much aware." So I submitted it about 10, 11 o'clock on the last day of the final thing, and she told me, I don't know why, maybe it's their procedure. They said within 24 to 48 hours, the legal election committee will have to evaluate your application. And I didn't ask a question already. Maybe probably it's background check or something. That's what I was thinking. And so I have to wait for 24 to 48. I think that was the procedure at the time. But lo and behold, before their office closed on the same day, I got a call from the executive assistant. He said, "Hey, Mr. De Mesa, we have accepted your application."
Mhm.
So that's when I found out that, and she even asked me, "What position are you applying for?" And I got so confused because he said, "I'm applying for the uh, board of trustee position." No, what segment? I didn't know that Fort Bend ISD is subdivided in so many positions, 1 to 5. And then I had to show her my ID, my driver's license, and then that's when she found out that, okay, now you will be competing for position 5. And fortunately, there were four ladies already there. So four thorns with one rose. So that was my situation, but it was worth the experience.
Good,
So
good.
will
Well, we
you?
have a few comments, okay,
Go.
from our viewers. So we have Rubilene Camacho. She says, "Hello, Uncle Rolly. Good to see you in YouTube."
Well,
Wow.
that's our niece, the daughter of the brother of my wife. We stayed with them when we had a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, she calls me Mr. President, and I call her Madam Secretary.
We have another comment here from
Uh-huh.
Rusty Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
His is, I heard that the TEA takeover of HISD yielded almost 500 HISD Board of Trustees candidates. Now, Fort Bend Independent School District is different from,
How is, yeah,
yeah, what is your education, what's this,
plataforma,
platform?
yeah.
Oh
Did you have
well,
to have an education platform to join or to
well,
apply for that position?
no, not necessarily. The very basic qualification, if I remember right, is you must be 18 years old, a resident of that county. That's it. You
Okay.
don't even have to have any background at all in education, work experience. That's just the minimum requirement, and I passed that. And I think what Mr. Rusty Lopez is asking us about why the Texas Education Agency took over the Houston Independent School District, although that's entirely different from Fort Bend,
Mm-hmm.
is because the board of directors, seven of them, if I'm not mistaken, did not come along in the agreement. I hope I am wrong. And so they didn't manage well the HISD. And so now the HID school went a little bit haywire, the performance went down, etc. And so they're blaming it on the board. And then Texas Education Agency said, we need to save this. So they got rid of the board of trustees or board of directors, so TEA now. So Fort Bend is hoping that that's not going to happen. Otherwise, it will be an issue not only for the parents, but also for the kids, as well as even the teachers, the staff members.
Yeah,
And slowly,
it becomes a disruption to the flow of the education board duties, and for sure FISD has uh, taken a lesson from what is happening with Houston HISD.
Yeah, because I kind of, yeah, I heard that over the radio too, when about TEA taking over HISD. So yeah, it's of course a learning lesson from for all the other school districts. But anyway, I the attorney Eileen Ligot Dizon also says, "Hi Rolly, just for the
hello, Tony.
record, it was not a reprimand." Anyway, my question for I know my question for you is, what inspires you to run for the board of trustees, or what inspired you to run for the board of trustees?
I knew you were going to ask that. Well, it's very simple. I
Mm-hmm.
am retired and doing nothing else. Uh, I got no choice. When I say I got no choice, I was taking some notes basically while Miss Sue and you guys are talking to each other. She mentioned the word boring. She mentioned the word boring, and that is true. And I'm telling some of my friends, because my situation is kind of different. But before I go to that, boring is the one that came to the aspect, and I told my friends, oh good, my friends are telling me, good for you, you're already drawing out from your social security, etc. You're good, you don't have to go to work, drive, etc. I said, nope. I look at it differently. I said, please do not retire for as long as the company needs you. Stay with them, stay mingle, be otherwise you will go crazy like me looking for other stuff. So I started joining different civic organization, and of course, the very first one was PACC. And
Mm-hmm.
related to what I said, the last thing, I saw it on one Philippines one day. I
Mm-hmm.
was watching TV and I was reading that, and then I saw it. There'll be a meeting of this PACC. I have heard PACC before,
Mm-hmm.
but never really considered joining. And so I called those three numbers. The two numbers, no one answered. It's all voicemail, or one of them is even full, cannot leave a message. One of them answered. It was Attorney Ilagan.
Okay.
He was so kind enough to say, "Oh yeah, sure. Can I still come in? What do I do?" What? So he said, "Just show up and I'll be there." And I was there basically. And mind you, when I arrived at Marriott Courtyard, Attorney Ilagan was not there first. It was, if I remember right, it was Mang Flor as well as Margarita. And Margarita was so gracious enough and said, "Hey, welcome, welcome po." So that's when I signed up with that. Giving back to the community
Yeah.
is when I lost my job because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Most of you in PACC already know this. November 10 of 2020, because of the height of the COVID at the time, the last company that I have worked for almost 11 years, the corporate management decided to shut down the particular site where I have been working for almost 11 years because of too much inventory. So I'm one of the 85 employees, both salaried, regular, even contractors that were let go. I have no qualms. We had good bonuses and severance pay. But then I came to think about it. It took me about 2 weeks to internalize what happened. I said, why did I lose my job? So 2 weeks until it was my wife who encouraged me, do something. Don't just stay on the couch. Otherwise, uh, you will have lard on your heart and then you might have a heart attack just like your dad, etc. So I came into realization that, oh yeah, I need to do something, some housework improvement. I have to hire contractors and so on. So that's how it started. And then I started joining civic organizations. PACC is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, which is here in our community, uh, if you don't mind, I will promote it also. Differently from PACC, because it's all business, most of the members. Oh, by the way, I asked Attorney Ilagan, if I remember the time, I said, "Do you have to have a business to be a member of Philippine American Chamber of Commerce?" And he said, "No." When he said that, I said, "Okay, I think I'm going to join this." So going back to the other community organization in our own community here in Siena, the same thing. It was by accident. They had a meeting on that, and I just joined right there and then. And looking differently, I thought it was about the exchange students. Worldwide, we have exchange students. Students from other companies come here. Students from here go to the Philippines, Taiwan, or whatever. I thought it was that thing, but it's not. It was an organization that works under four pillars. If you don't mind my promoting, they work under four pillars. This was founded way back 1914 or 1911 by a group of gentlemen from Toledo, Ohio. And
Mm-hmm.
they work under four pillars. Number one is patriotism. The second one is, patriotism and Americanism. Second one is youth. The third one is community service. And the last one, which is also a national project, and that's when I was inspired, prevention of child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So this exchange club, they're all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
You may even have in your own district, whatever. We have in Sugarland, we have in Woodlands, we have in Rosenberg. They are all over. As a matter of fact, this coming June 9, 10, 11, there will be a district conference represented by Gulf, Louisiana, Gulf of Texas, Missouri, and there are other surrounding states. So It's about community. So this balance of mine was good. I'm joining somebody with business. I hope I will have my business later on.
Mm-hmm.
And then this community service.
Yeah,
And it just
Uh,
that's
shows,
wonderful.
just goes to show that there are a lot of civic organizations within the community that you can join
Mhm.
and share your talent and become a fruitful, successful Phil-Am. We need a lot of people like you who would like to help out and become a member of the Phil-Am community civic organizations.
Yeah, that's true. And nothing happens by accident. So it was meant to be that you became part of the chamber, and we appreciate that. And of course, it's meant to be that you became part of that other community organization. But before we go on a break, again, I'd like to read another comment from Rusty Lopez. And by the way, Rusty, we want to thank you for being a loyal viewer of our show. Anyway, he says, it's about time to have Filipino representation on the board of trustees in ISDs. We have a lot of Filipino teachers who are in need of protection of their rights. I think Mr. De Meza has the potential to become a representative in ISD elected positions. He speaks like a real politician. He just needs to have Filipinos and Phil-Am backers from the community. So run
Go,
again,
Rolly.
run again. Go, go, go. Right? Anyway, thank you,
well,
Paul. We'll get you back later. But we'll go for a break, for a little 1 minute break.
We'll see you in a bit.
All right.
We're back.
Yes, we're back. So can you that's let's invite them. It's a very exciting opportunity again for the Filipino American community to have this convention first time. Right. It's the National Coalition of Filipino American Chambers. So come join us May 31st to June 3rd. Am I correct, Tita?
Yes, and it's going to be
Yeah.
held at the West Chase Marriott Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome night is on May 31st.
Mm-hmm.
And they, from the 31st to June 3rd, we have exhibits and we have speakers and of course the main convention itself amongst the delegates from 37, I believe, or 27 members of the coalition. So
Mm-hmm.
we would like to welcome you all to join us.
Yep, yep. But anyways, before we again, I know the time just passed so quickly, but of course we have another opportunity to have our guests together so they can give us, any more thoughts or words of wisdom, encouragement, or invitation to our viewers for anything that you want to say. Let's start with Sue.
Okay, hi. Well, I just want to reiterate with what I say is that A lot of agent only have a few carrier with them, but I have more than 10 carrier. So you have a lot more choice than use my service than others. So, and also I have like I said, I have a three stew there, three leg there. One is Margarita, one is me, Su Lee, and the other one is Sandy Chen. So we can better provide you the service than anybody else. So if you need a Medicaid service or you need to become an agent, looking for me, call me at the 281-758-9152 or call Margarita at the 832-985-1877. We would like to have you talk to you and give you the input about the Medicare. Thank you for
And of
having
course,
me.
your email address,
Yes, yes,
wonderfulsuelee@gmail.com.
correct, correct. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, thank
It's
you
truly
too.
wonderful that you've joined us tonight, Sue.
Indeed.
And
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
we
Thank
are
you.
honored. And of course, we would like to hear from our next guest, Rolly De Meza.
Well, thank you once again. Or before anything else, just for everyone, in case I do pass the licensure exam, Miss Suli would probably become my boss. I hope she will not. She will not because they did call me and they kind of interested in my background. So I went to their office, and at the same time, I would like also to enroll for that Medicare Part D, and that's how I met her. And so I'm still thinking about it. She gave me all the forms. I need to take the exams. Hopefully, I'll aim it for that. But anyway, thank you for the opportunity. So, as you were telling Miss MJ that the opportunity that I had, yes, I lost my job, a company that I've worked with, the last one for almost 11 years. And in the Bible, it says when God closes a door,
Mhm.
I open it
God
up.
opens another one. And I think these civic organizations, PACC, ACC, the Siena Exchange Club, and mind you, I didn't have enough time. I know we shifted and zoomed into to one particular subject. I have also submitted my application as a mentor for Big Brothers Big Sister of
Yeah,
Texas.
Mhm.
They
yeah.
are in the process of doing a background check on me already, wherein I think all of you know what is BBBS. You will be assigned one on one with a student for about 1 to 2 years. And
Mhm.
this particular student, aging probably from elementary to all high school, will look up to you as a role model, and
Mhm.
you will guide. You'll get a chance to meet the family, etc. And at least one of the requirement is, of course, the safety. And I'm so engulfed with these civic organizations. And my friends even ask me, or even my family said, Dad, why don't you just look for a job, even as a greeter at Walmart? You'll get paid, etc. I'm serious. They said you're calling people, you're going out, wasting gas, etc. I said, and all I told them was, hey, at 67, retired, in whatever I'm doing today, at this very moment, I find fulfillment.
Mhm.
That's right.
My friends say, you know what, how come you've never done this vision before of yours, trying to have your own sort of business? We haven't gone into that yet, but I
It's
told them, well,
because
it's
you were
because
busy with the corporate world,
there you go. Yes, yes, Miss
just
Tess,
like
you are
all of us.
absolutely right.
We were
You
so busy in the corporate world, but the opportunity has arrived for you. When the other door has closed, this opportunity has come to you, and all you have to do is enjoy it, grab it, and hey, go with it.
Yeah, and we wish you both in all your endeavors. I know that you both
Thank you.
are really wanting to serve, and we appreciate you. We're blessed to have people like you. And again, we thank you for joining us tonight. And
And we want to
yeah.
invite you tomorrow for the
Oh
event
yes.
tomorrow night at Pasayahan Senayon, our uh, night market, Filipino night market. Come join
Saturday.
us.
That's
Yes.
Saturday, right? Not Friday.
Yeah, yeah, Saturday, May 27th.
See,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what happens when you're retired. You forget what day it is.
So I'm
You're forgiven, Miss Tess.
See
You're
you Saturday,
forgiven.
then.
well, so it looks like I'm with a group of retirees.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Yes, thank you. And again, we invite everyone to the gala night of the convention coming up. So join us. Gala night is gonna be on. I think it's on the Friday, right, Tita
Yeah,
Chen?
and
Yeah.
on June 11th, everybody, all Filipinos, come join us for the Kalayaan 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Philippine Independence Day celebration at the Bayou City Event Center. And it's an indoor event that
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest ballroom here in Texas. And that's what, and we're going to bring our local performers and a lot more and a lot of shopping and eating and meeting all your friends that you haven't seen in a while. It's gonna be fun. So again,
Yes.
Kalayaan 2023 on June 11th. Please
Yes.
join us.
Amen. Yeah, and that's our celebration of the Philippine Independence Day. That's what it means. That's why it
Philippine
means.
Independence Day from
Yes.
Spain.
Yes, the Philippine Independence Day. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment, fun, and food. So join us, okay? So I guess we came to an end of our show. And again, we appreciate our guests for tonight. And thank you, Tita Tess, for being my guest co host as well.
Thank
And
you.
don't forget the Biz
I
Talk
enjoy
every,
it.
yes, every second and fourth Thursday of the month. Join us again next time. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank
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 you.
you.
you. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Good job.
Appreciate